I always wonder, do they really think this, or are they just being idiots?
I mean, he went from being the dork that was jumping around on stage to allegedly being this amazing genius that's going to save this entire country, the country that he wasn't born in, and a country that maybe he doesn't agree with the idea of a democratic republic, considering the fact that he may have been more so on the side of apartheid. So, like, I am shocked. And I'm also shocked that MAGA, who is clearly a cult, would allow somebody else to come in and do anything.
Just like you, and they're just like me. And he's running around because he thinks he's got a bank account with a lot of zeros in it, that it makes him some kind of super citizen. I don't think so. This is America.
This video is brought to you by Home Title Lock, brought to you by Home Title Lock. Did you know that American homeowners have over $32 trillion in home equity, and criminals are targeting it with a growing scam the FBI calls house stealing? Scammers can transfer your title out of your name using a one-page document that they file with the county. Then they could take out loans against it or even sell it behind your back. And the scariest part is you won't find out about it until collections or foreclosure notices are starting to arrive in your mailbox, leaving you in a financial and legal nightmare. The best way to protect your equity is with Home Title Lock's exclusive $1 million triple lock protection. This service offers 24/7 monitoring, urgent alerts, and if fraud should occur, their US-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix the fraud and restore your title. So when was the last time that you checked on your title? If you're like most Americans, the answer is never. And that's exactly what scammers are counting on. That's why I've partnered with Home Title Lock to offer you all a chance to make sure that you're not already a victim. When you use promo code Tatum at HometitleLock.com, you'll get 30 days of free protection and a free title history report to lock in your peace of mind. And make sure you guys check out the $1 million triple lock protection details when you get there. Make sure you check out the link below. That's HometitleLock.com. Make sure you use my promo code Tatum. Jasmine Crockett, y'all know that ghetto bird? She has a complete meltdown. I wanted to show this too. I wanted to do this one yesterday, but I ran out of time. She had a complete meltdown over DOGE. And you guys see I got my DOGE hat on. Democrats officially getting exposed. That's what DOGE really mean. They tell y'all something different. This means Democrats officially getting exposed. So she has a meltdown, and she ghetto as somebody sitting on the corner of Mill and Berry smoking crack. That's how ghetto she is. I don't know how her constituents decided to vote for some ghetto fool in Congress. I don't get it, man. And I'm not saying she ghetto just because she black. Listen to how she talked, though. And she mad at DOGE. Let me put this in perspective. She's mad because we're exposing government waste of our taxpayer dollars. That's why they mad. Roll the clip.
I mean, he went from being the dork that was jumping around on stage to allegedly being this amazing genius that's going to save this entire country, the country that he wasn't born in, and a country that maybe he doesn't agree with the idea of a democratic republic, considering the fact that he may have been more so on the side of apartheid. So, like, I am shocked. And I'm also shocked that MAGA, who is clearly a cult, would allow somebody else to come in and do anything. Now, what we've seen, though, is that Donald Trump's approval ratings still supposedly are kind of either going up or holding while Elon Musk is falling, right? So you've got the pushback of Steve Bannon. Like, the fact that I agree with him on anything in life really has me like, oh, yeah, we really are in the upside down right now. So I do think that there will be more hate that ends up being spewed towards him once people start to really wake up and realize, like, wait a minute, so you're telling me that I don't have any Social Security so that you could get an extra $1 billion, $2 billion, $3 billion in government contracts from my tax dollars, and or end up saving money on your taxes because you don't want to pay them, and I can't even find a job because we're headed towards a recession. That's what I want people to understand. I don't mean to be gloom and doom, but when you have somebody that is firing people from the 15th largest employer in the world, which is the federal government. And then when you are saying, let's kick out these amazing people that have actually contributed to our country in the form of building our homes, as you're complaining about the cost of homes. When you're talking about people that are going and working the farms, as you're complaining about the cost of food, as you're getting rid of people that are working on bird flu, and you're like, oopsie, didn't realize that's what you were doing.
I gotta stop this woman. Like, is this real? Are they really seriously? I always wonder, do they really think this? Or are they just being idiots? First and foremost, Tesla is $1 trillion company. It's worth over $1 trillion. I don't know if people forgot that. Elon Musk only have a 20% holding in the company. His 20% is worth $400 billion. It's $1 trillion company. Them getting a contract with the U.S. for $1 billion is a fart in the wind. It means nothing. They spend billions on one project. One of their shareholders is worth $400 billion. So with that being said, everybody making a fuss about Elon Musk's American contract is asinine to me. He worth $400 billion. $1 billion is not going to affect Elon Musk whatsoever. $1 billion is not going to affect Tesla or any of his companies whatsoever. Y'all on little money. We're talking a company worth trillions. That's like somebody saying, hey, Brandon, I'm going to give you 75-cent contract. Let's say a $1,000 contract. I'm going to give you a $1,000 contract. A $1,000 contract ain't going to make me somehow jump over the moon or do something corrupt. Or I'm going to somehow be rich by a $1,000 contract. My payroll is probably $60,000 a month. So imagine Tesla's payroll. They got like 20,000 people work for Tesla. It's stupid. And to think that Elon Musk doesn't love this country, the man literally bought Twitter for free speech. I mean, I ain't gonna keep going down that path. They stupid. We know what's going on. Roll it.
You're living with this incompetent administration that is literally driving us to a recession at warp speed. And all I can say is hold on to your money and make sure that you have a way to make money, even if you lose your job, because there are people that believe that, oh, I don't work for the federal government, so I'm fine. But that's not the case. We just saw the Southwest Airlines did the biggest layoff that they have ever done in its entire existence. We continue to see private industries laying off. So many private companies rely on federal dollars.
What do you do?
These people are insane. First of all, I guarantee if I look it up, Southwest did the layoffs last year. I guarantee you they didn't do it in the first quarter of this year. They did it last year under Biden administration. They're relying on federal dollars. Donald Trump and no one is going to eliminate programs that are working efficiently and effectively. All they're doing is saying, y'all have 10,000 people in this bureau that's doing nothing. You're going to lose your job. Let me just give you perspective. The FAA has 45,000 employees. They got rid of 400. That's less than 1%. It's less than 400. It was like 300 something. That's less than 1% of all the employees in the FAA. They have 45,000. There are probably millions of people that are employed by the federal government. Millions. And they get rid of 10,000 people. Bro, man, that's inconsequential almost. But what I like that is happening is that they're evaluating the spending and they're saying, we don't need this, we don't need this, we don't need this. That's waste, that's waste, that's waste. Let's clean it up. But the Democrats have to oppose Republicans, so they just make up stuff out their butt to make an argument. Elon Musk was never treated this way until he became a conservative. Donald Trump was never treated this way until he ran as a Republican. I hope that the liberals that are watching this are seeing this. That's why people say they wake up all the time watching my content and other people's content, because when you put your thinking cap on, you look at it, you say, well, wait a minute. There's a highlight tape. Let's find that highlight tape. There is literally a highlight tape of George Bush, of Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, and Al Gore explaining why it's important and how they're going to cut the government spending, that they're going to, fire people if necessary, They're going to do whatever it takes to make sure that the people's money are being used properly.
This report tells us how to cut waste, cut red tape, streamline the bureaucracy, change procurement rules, change the personnel rules, and create a government that works better and costs less.
I've read it, and where it says the president should, the president will.
Among the 800 recommendations, eliminating 12% of the federal workforce, merging some government agencies like the FBI, the DEA, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, closing hundreds of government offices outside Washington.
From the day I took office, one of the commitments that I made to the American people was that we would do a better job here in Washington in rooting out wasteful spending. We thought that it was entirely appropriate for our governments and our agencies to try to root out waste, large and small, in a systematic way. It means cutting some programs that I think are worthy, but we may not be able to afford right now. A lot of the action is in Congress and legislative, but in the meantime, we don't need to wait for Congress in order to do something about wasteful spending that's out there. We haven't seen as much action out of Congress as we'd like, and that's why we launched on our own initiative the campaign to cut waste. And we're going to keep on finding every possible way that we can do that, even if Congress is not acting. There you go.
When they do it, totally fine. Nothing wrong with it. When we do it, people lose their mind. Let's go to some more clips. We got some more clips with this Jasmine chick. Let's just start rolling through them because there's like 10 of them on here. You want to go to Jasmine and DOGE? Is that the one we played, or the Elon DORK? Here's another one, a ghetto bird with that toupee on. Boy, that wig piece bad, boy. She need to work on that wig piece. And this be the first people that talk about white folks and them stealing black culture. They're appropriating culture. That wig piece right there, that's not a black girl wig. You got a white woman wig on, but you steady talking bad about white folks. But yet you want to look like that. You want your hair to look like theirs. All right, roll it.
Now, President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from DOGE back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
Listen, he's just telling a lie. He's not the one that had anything to do with the $1,200 refunds that people had during the midst of COVID that was done by a Democratic House and Democratic Senate. Right now, what they're going to do is say, hey, we want to give you a refund, but Congress won't let us, because they already know that there's just no money for that. The only reason that those refunds came before was because we were living in different times. This was a time in which hopefully we won't ever go through again. We had a once in a lifetime pandemic. The bad part is that I don't know if it's once in a lifetime, because we know that Ebola, unfortunately, was detected right here in New York here recently. And if we continue down this road of getting rid of scientists or deciding that we don't want to rely on experts as it relates to what they're telling us to do, or we don't want to deal with vaccines and medicine in this country, then we may be facing not only our next pandemic, but our next 2, 3, or 4 pandemics because of their incompetence. So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
I want to play the clip of AOC crying about Elon. Everybody hates Elon now because he's effective. Look at this dinglebat. Roll the clip.
Every day, our job is to wake up and say, what can I do today? There is no act too small. That does not matter. Every single action matters. And so when they try to come in, make them show a warrant. Make them show a document. Make them assert their authority. Ask them, who are you? Who are you? Because at the end of the day, they're no one. That's right. They're just like you, and they're just like me. And he's running around because he thinks he's got a bank account with a lot of zeros in it, that it makes him some kind of super citizen. I don't think so. This is America.
Yeah, hold on. I want y'all to, some of y'all caught it. Do you see how she talking to them? Did you catch it? she's talking slow and she's dumbing down her speech and she's talking like she's talking to little babies. That's not how AOC traditionally talk. She talk fast and wild. She's talking slow, and who are they? They're not anybody important, just like you. That's what she said. She said they're not anybody just like you. These people are so stupid. They be saying anything. If they knock on the door, don't answer it. Ask them, who is it? Do they have a warrant? Man, if they knocking on your door and you got a warrant for your arrest, they coming in there anyway. And if you bad enough, they coming to get you. This is the thing about them. They try to make all these deported people out to be your farmers and whatever. These people have a deportation order. These people are criminals. They're raping people. They're killing people. They're robbing people. These are the ones that are getting deported. And your Thea and them getting caught up in that. But they're going after the people that are committing real crimes. But your Thea should have got it right 20 years ago. I feel bad for people that just came over here just a little bit. I feel bad. You just came over here and you get deported. It's like, dang, you really did all of that and you going right back. That was a long way to go back. But you've been over here 20 years. You ain't did your stuff in 20 years. I know why, because you said F America and you're going to do what you want to do. Now go home. Going back to your Mexico, since that's where you love it, or wherever y'all at. I don't care where you at. You could be in Africa, Mexico. You could be, I don't know what continent you from. Go ahead and go back to where you came from. Get up out of here. All right, let's go to Van Jones, Crybaby Jones. That's why I should call him Van Crybaby Jones. Look at him. They mad because Elon had a chainsaw. It was a gift to him. I don't know what it's made of, like a silver little chainsaw. Maybe it was platinum. I don't know. He balling like that. But it was a gift to him by another president. And I think the guy's a president. Javier. Who's the president of what? Argentina president. I saw the little exchange. It was so, but, he's chainsawing, cutting costs. It's cool. He's swagging out, got a little gold chain on. Elon, right, he's feeling himself, all right? Here the Democrats go. They can't like a rock star. They can't like the man doing what he say he gonna do. If the Democrats did a prop, they'd be acting like it's historically the most important prop they've ever seen. But when Elon do it, somehow he's Marilyn Manson or somebody. Roll a clip.
I do wonder, Van, what you think about, say, that message as opposed to, some of the insensitive things we've heard from Elon Musk, the chainsaw stuff, et cetera.
Look, there's a smart way and a dumb way to do anything. And what they're doing by, the Nazi salute and the chainsaws, they want us talking about stuff that at the end of the day doesn't matter. We won't even remember in a week. Here's what's not going to be forgotten. There are veterans right now in the United States that are having a hard time seeing a doctor because there's been so much chaos in our government. There are nurses. There are people who are trying to keep our water safe. People who are trying to make sure our food is being explained. There's complete chaos. And the problem that you have is we're all trust fund babies. We didn't build this country. Our parents built this country. Our grandparents built this country. They put the laws in place. They put the roads on the ground. And we are just squandering it by letting somebody put termites all over the pillars that hold up our society. It's so easy to say, oh, America's government's terrible. America's government sucks. You go to another country. You come back here and you can't wait to get back to see a country that is run as well as ours. Is there waste, fraud, and abuse? There is in every country. But you cut it with a scalpel. You don't cut it with a chainsaw, and you cut fat. These people are cutting fat, muscle, bone, and marrow. When they say they're going to take $1 trillion out, that's going to hurt a lot of people. And by the way, go to Congress. You are a Republican president. You have control of the House and the Senate. Go to Congress, and let's have a real process. But you unleash somebody who's doing theatrics and abandoning his own children and having some weird fantasy in front of everybody to be popular, just do whatever he wants to do with no oversight. That is anti-American, and it's reckless and it's wrong.
Doing what he want to do with no oversight. I just wish I had like video footage and stuff to just debunk every single person, but it's so much out there. He's duly appointed by the President of the United States of America. Donald Trump has the power to appoint people in his cabinet. That's it. He's held accountable and monitored by the president. This is not somebody that the country vote for individually. This is somebody that the president has a right to appoint. Just like Joe Biden appointed all of those people in the cabinet with no oversight, Donald Trump has the right to do the same thing. But they're not addressing ever. I put my life on this. I put my life on this. You will hardly ever see any of these Democrats that have a criticism of Elon Musk explain the massive amount of waste that they're discovering. They'll talk about the chainsaw, but they won't talk about billions and hundreds of billions of dollars that's being spent, wasted, lost. The Pentagon has lost like $800 billion. They've never made audit in the last decade. What? Okay, why don't you talk about that? You're talking about a chainsaw, but you're not talking about the Social Security numbers of people that are 200 years old. Over 20 million people that's over 120 years old. Where's that money going? What y'all doing over here? We gave $400 billion to Ukraine. I mean, you name it, bro. Y'all disgusting to me. Y'all mad at him, but you won't talk about what they discovered. He's just doing whatever he want to do. He getting the job done. Y'all had that clip of Elon?
Thank you. This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy. Chainsaw! That's brilliant. All right.
I love it. Mr. President, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
He love having fun. But I wish I was rich like that, boy. I'd be having fun with him too, God dog it. But they mad. They mad because they left this darling is now conservative. Let's see, what's the other one we have? Chris Sununu. Now I want to say this off top. I don't like Chris Sununu. He a weenie, in my opinion. I don't know if he changed his mind, but he is a straight wankster. I heard him say some of the craziest things I've ever heard anybody say about Donald Trump, and he said it with his whole chest. But just like any broken clock, he may be right twice a day. Roll the clip.
It was surreal, but I got to tell you, I know what you're not showing here. Musk gave 7 specific examples off the top of his head of where the corruption and fraud were. I know you didn't play the clips. He was talking about a contractor that had a 3-month contract. He was paid for 20 years. He was talking about welfare benefits that were being paid to someone that was technically 150 years old. He was talking about line items in the Treasury that had no justification.
There's no any he doesn't present any actual evidence.
Well, he's standing there in the Oval Office. Do you expect him to come in with 10,000 pages? And I have to be clear, to complain about this administration about transparency, when this president takes open questions on a daily basis, yet Joe Biden didn't show up for a press conference this 6 months, is insane. Well, these guys are being extremely transparent. They don't have to sit there and take the questions, but they do. It's all on the website. It's all out there.
It's not transparency to say things that have no factual background. I mean, to say we're cutting, we've found $1 billion or $1 trillion in waste with no specifics, that's just talk. That's not transparency.
It's 23 days in here, guys. 23 days. You were talking about $2.3 billion that was saved last year. These guys are saving $2.3 billion a day.
Right, but
it's incredible.
That's what they're saying. But where's the proof?
You're waiting. You're not going to be satisfied till he shows up with 10,000 pages.
But we're talking about 10,000 pages. Yeah. He's giving very specific things,
yes, he's
not actually giving any evidence of that.
It's all going to come because what they also said was, if we have to go to Congress, we'll go to Congress.
Right, but
we'll show where it is.
Some of the details that have come out, like the $59 million spent on luxury hotels, it's actually not.
You're talking about the FEMA money that was abused for migrants. That was.
Yeah.
FEMA money for migrants, that's okay now?
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. Don't put words in my mouth.
So would you stop that? Would you stop that process?
Don't be a dick. What I'm saying is the portrayal by him is.
So I think you guys can see Sununu was whooping their head on this. I'm surprised the other conservative didn't articulate herself very well. I mean, I didn't see the full clip, but it's clear that they don't need. It's funny that they talk about they need specifics. Like it's ongoing investigation. I personally think we can trust that Elon is not just completely making this stuff up. It's no reason to be honest. Listen, Elon Musk is the richest man in the world. Like, he don't need to be doing this. Donald Trump was one of the most popular people to ever live. He didn't need to be the president. When I see people that don't need it, that get involved in it, it makes me respect them a little more. Versus the people that ain't got nothing going for them. They're not rich, they're not famous or nothing. And they're using this as a platform to either get rich or famous or both. AOC, did she really believe what she said? No, she just want a platform so she can grandstand and get her name out there. Next thing you know, she be writing a book and all that. You know, that's all they do it for. When you rich, when you got the money like that, you don't need nobody to steal somebody's social security number. You don't steal somebody's social security number, they got a 500 credit score. And you can go to prison forever. And when you got $400 billion in your bank account, you got more money than probably 90% of people in America. I mean, you got more money than everybody in America when it comes to your net worth. But your liquidity, you probably more liquid than just about anybody in America. Like Elon Musk can buy entire housing communities. I think Elon Musk can buy an entire state. One of these states go bankrupt, Elon Musk can buy the whole state. Obviously, they're not for sale, but I'm saying financially, he can leverage some of them billions of dollars and put it into one of these small states. He can at least buy a city. That man ain't worried about your social security number, that you got 3 kids on it. All right, I'm going to play this meme real quick. I thought this was the funniest thing in the world. This encapsulates, if it's the meme, I think it is. This encapsulates how liberals really are reacting. No, that's not the meme. That DOGE meme was so funny. Is it the one with a little troll crying? Nah, I'm thinking of something else. It was like, we're saving the government, we're saving taxpayer dollars, and that little person was crying and screaming. Is that it? Is that the one? I don't think so. Put it on the screen. Roll it.
So, like, President Trump is, like, he's having Elon go through all of this stuff to, like, see where America's taxpayer dollars are going to, and, like, they're finding so much corruption, and I just wish that they would stop, because it's really, like, none of their business, and I enjoy paying my taxes to other countries, and I love that it goes into, like, other people's pockets instead of mine, and I just really love that, and I hate that he's deporting all of these people, because I also enjoy all of my tax dollars going to pay for all of their living, even though they came here illegally. And everything is like not going according to plan. Like, he's like kept his word on everything he said. Like, everything he said, he kept his word on. Like, presidents aren't supposed to do that. This is the stupidest thing ever. I just wish I'd stay at what? I hate him too.
That was pretty funny. The one I'm talking about is on my Instagram. If you go to my Instagram story, I don't know if this dude was a gamer or something. He like cries and screams on the camera. And this was quite funny, bro. It's the last one I posted. No, it's the one I posted 13 hours ago. He like in a high rise. It's this one, Nick. That's that one. I want to show the people that one. That is hilarious. All right, let's play one more clip, and then we're going to get to that funny meme. Let's play Karoline Leavitt. Roll it.
We're now hearing from constituents in some traditionally red districts right now complaining about what they say is the chainsaw approach, and saying that it's been done very sloppily, the cuts to jobs and spending. How do you respond to that criticism?
I love how the media takes a few critics when the overwhelming response from the American people is support for what this administration is doing. If you look at the public polling, 70% of Americans, according to CBS, believe that President Trump is delivering on the promises he made. And there should be no secret about the fact that this administration is committed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. The president campaigned on that promise. Americans elected him on that promise, and he's actually delivering on it. And this is something that Democrats promised they would do for decades. President Trump is just the first president to get it done.
Let me ask you about the fraud, if I can. We can all have our own opinion about what is wasteful spending, and Republicans have praised the president for cutting wasteful spending, but fraud, of course, is a crime. So have you turned over evidence of fraud to the Justice Department, and when should we expect to see those indictments?
It's a clever question. First of all, I think all Americans would agree that funding mastectomies in Mozambique is not something that the American people should be funding, or DEI program. There was $71 billion worth of fraud in one single fiscal year that we know about. And so that is a lot of fraud, Peter, that the government has admitted to. So this administration is committed to finding even more of that fraud, waste, and abuse.
To be clear, that $71 billion was from 2015 to 2022, so it wasn't in just 1 year, and it was
$71 billion.
But it wasn't in 1 year, just to be clear.
In one report.
And it was in one report over multiple years, from 2015 to 2022.
So are you defending $71 billion in fraud, Peter? That's a lot of money, far too much, and that's why this administration. Why is the media so against cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the government? I don't get it.
I just want to ask a question.
We won't be deterred. We will not be deterred from people like you and the press who are clearly adamantly opposed to cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. But we know that American taxpayers at home who have been struggling with an inflationary crisis don't want their tax dollars going towards crazy DEI programs in countries overseas. They also don't like the fact that there has been $71 billion worth of fraud in Social Security and improper payments going out the door. That's a problem that needs to be fixed, and President Trump is going to fix it. That's your fifth question. Elena, do you have anything to add?
Boom. Let's play my meme real quick. Thank you, Karoline Leavitt, for that. I think we just whooping their head every chance. This is the most accurate meme I've ever seen in my life. Your hard-earned tax dollars are no longer being sent overseas. And this is how the liberals respond. Roll it. He died. He died in the chair. Roll it again. I think the people need to see it again. I laughed a lot today.